And we got Johnny Damon leading off, batting 136 with no homers and 5 RBIs, going up against Mr. VIDA Blue. His fourth start of the year. He's 2-0 with a 2.25 ERA. Here's the pitch to Johnny. And that's going to be a base on ball. So Damon gets down to first. Will he stay there? That is the question. Or will he take off and run? And we got Mr. Wilson up. He's batting 250 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And they're going to do a little hit and run here. That's going to be against the lefty. 17 and 11. And that's going to be a single in the center field. And Damon's going to make it down to third on the hit and run. Work to perfection. Now you got first and second. No first and third. Nobody out. And are we going to do another hit and run? That is the question. I think we are. Mike Sweeney's at the plate. He's batting 281 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. They're just going to keep running until the A's can throw them out. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is off the right center field fence. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double by Mike Sweeney. And just like that, 2-0 Kansas City. And Blues getting beat up here, folks. Now you got a runner down at second. Still nobody out. And a 2-0 game. And Perez comes to the plate batting 278 with 4 homers and 10 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Perez. That's going to be the first out of the game. Blues strikes him out. 1 down here in the top of the first. And a 2-0 ball game. Al Cowens is up. Batting 222 with a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. He'll look the runner back. Matter of fact, that's a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Back-to-back strikeouts after the 2-run double. Can Blues strike the side out? That is the question. Even though he's trailing by 2, Washington batting 222 with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Ricky makes the catch. So after giving up the 2 RBI double, Blue settles down, but it's Kansas City 2. The A's coming to the plate. They'll have Henderson, Tejada, and Giambi due up here. Ricky batting 172 in the year with no homers and 1 RBI. Kevin Appier making his 4th start of the year. He's 2-1 with a 2.25 ERA. Here's the pitch to Ricky. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Al on the right. 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the first. And Miguel Tejada comes to the plate. Off to a slow start. He is 3 for 49. No homers and no RBIs. A 0.61 average, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And George Brett, damn good fielding. Third baseman bobbles that one. And Tejada's aboard here with an error. So the tying run comes to the plate. And Jason Giambi. And Giambi's batting 245 with 6 homers and 12 RBIs. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. Kevin Appier hits Giambi, tries to get that ball in tight, hits him. Now you got the tying run at first. A go-ahead run at the plate, and Reggie Jackson first and second. Only 1 out here. Can the A's get right back in this game? Reggie, he's batting 143. He has 4 homers and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a 66. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. Sweeney throws down the second. Back to first. Reggie beats the relay. So they get the runner out at second. Now there's 2 outs. Canseco's up and it's first and third. So run of 90 feet away. Canseco's batting .296 with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. Can he get the A's at least on the board here and cut this lead in half with a 2-out hit? That's going to be against the lefty. 15. And he gets the job done. That's a single in the right field. And Al Collins has got a rifle out there. Give me a second here. Come on now. Sorry about this. Trying to get this to work here. If I wanted it to work this way, it would. It would. But I want it to. It's not. That's irritating. Anyway, I'm not fooling with this anymore. Let's see. There's a single in the right field. 71. You should get down there with no throw. Yeah, he'll get down to third with no throw. It's a single in the right. Runner first down the third. Now it's a 2-1 game. And Sal's up. Alrighty, now we're ready to go. Sorry about that. Trying to get some things straightened out. So first and third, Sal Bando's up, batting .200 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Appier's up with it, tosses it over to Sweeney. And that'll be the third out. But the A's cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. We go to the top of the second. And you got Brett White and APPIER, the bottom third of the order, due up here for KC. Brett's batting .290 on the year with 5 homers and 15 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Tejada. He bobbles it. That's the second error of the game, the first one by the A's. And the leadoff batter's aboard again here. And now Frank White's up. And Frank's batting .200. No homers and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a ground ball down to third. And that's going to be a nice play by Banda. He'll get the runner out at second, but that'll be the only out. That ball was hit too slowly to get a double play. Kevin APPIER comes up. He is looking for his first hit of the year. They're going to give him the bunt sign here. He's 0 for 4. And that's going to be a foul ball. That's 2 strikes on him. Here's the 0-2 pitch. The bunt sign still on. And he lays down a nice bunt. That is bunted down to third base. Bando's up with it again. Only play this time's over the first. And Giambi's covering, and that'll be out number 2. But the runner gets down to second, and Johnny Damon comes to the plate. He walked and came around to score his first time up. Blue, and that's going to be a 18. That's going to be a ground ball down the second and over to first, and that'll end the inning. Frank White gets stranded at second. To the bottom of the second we go. Speaking of Jerry Lumpy, he'll lead it off here, followed by Steinbach and Blue. Bottom third due up here for the A's. Jerry's batting .244 with no homers and 2 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Callens for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here in the second. Terry Steinbach comes to the plate, batting .189 with a homer and 7 RBI. And that ball is well hit. Let's see where this one ends up at. And that ball was blasted into right field. And that'll be a 1-out double. So Steinbach's down at second. And Mr. VIDA Blue's up. The runner in scoring position. Can he help his own cause? He's batting .111 with no homers, but he does have 2 RBIs. So we're going to let Blue hit. And we drop the dice. And that's going to be against the righty, 19. That's going to be a 26. That's going to be a fly ball down the third base line, out in shallow left field. Brett makes the play for out number 2. And that brings up Ricky Henderson. Henderson, he flew out to right his first time up. And that's going to be a base on ball. So Ricky gets aboard here with 2 outs. And can Miguel Tejada do something here? He did reach on an error and came around to score the only A's run so far. And that's going to be 18. That is going to be a ground ball down the second. White over to first. And that'll end the inning. The A's strand 2. We get to the top of the third. Kansas City still with a 1-run lead. So we go. Wait a second here. Wait a second. Let's back that up. I just realized I was looking at the wrong chart. Back this up. That might not have ended the inning, folks. Sorry about that. That was first and second. First and second. Yeah, first and second. Let's see here. 25. That was an 8. 8 against us. 18. And instead, it was a pop up down the short. So pop up down the short instead of a ground out. So it does in the inning. But we got it right. Now we go to the top of the third. You got Wilson, Sweeney, and Perez due up here. And Willie, he singled and came around to score his first time up. Here's the pitch to Willie. And that's a fly ball out to left field. Henderson calls for it, makes the catch, out number 1. And Mike Sweeney, who had that 2 RBI double his first time up, comes to the plate. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Sweeney's 2 for 2. He's got VIDA Blues number so far today. Brings up Perez now with a runner on first, 1 out. And Perez, he struck out his first time against Blue. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, and Blues got Perez's number. That's the second time he's went down swinging. And Al Callens comes to the plate, and he was a strikeout victim his first time up also. Not this time, because that ball is high, that ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. He got all that fixed. And it is now a 4-1 ball game. Al Callens with a 2-run homer there in the third. And Washington comes up. He is 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Blue strikes him out, but he gives up a 2-run homer. And Kansas City Royals lead by 3. So we go to the bottom of the third. Got the big boys due up here for the A's. Giambi, Jackson, and Canseco. And Jason got hit by a pitch his first time up. And that's going to be a rare play. 35 out of 41. That is going to be hit back to the mound. And a 42 and a 2. That's fielding column 1. That's going to be a line drive right at APPIER. He makes the catch for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. Giambi hit it hard, but right at Kevin. Now you got Reggie up. Reggie's 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be another rare play. 21 and a 40. That's a foul ball. Strike 1 on Reggie. Fouls that one off. Can he do something with the 0-1 pitch? And that's a lofted out to center field. Wilson waits for it, makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And Jose Canseco comes up, and he's 1 for 1 today with an RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Canseco's out of there. And that's a 1, 2, 3 innings. To the top of the 4th we go. You got Brett due up, followed by White and APPIER, the bottom third of the order. Kansas City's upcoming schedule. They leave Oakland, head up the coast to Seattle to take on the Mariners for 3 games. And then they head home, and Texas comes to town. And here's the pitch to Brett. He's 0 for 1, reached on an error his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Reggie for out number 1. Frank White now. He's 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And that's going to be against the lefty. Something that's going to be a base hit for Frank. He gets aboard here with a 1-out single. So Frank's aboard. 1 down. And Kevin APPIER's up. Got a sacrifice bunt his first time up, and they're going to ask him to do it again. And here's the pitch to APPIER. And that's going to be a 3-3. That's going to be bunted down the third. And the runner gets